Hey, what's up, Emerge community? So I just got back yesterday morning from the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing conference, and it was awesome. And I wanted to hop on here and share with you the top 10 one-liners that I heard, and they are in no particular order except the order of my notebook. There were so many really, really great insights. And what I took away the most, and I think I'm at a different phase going to a conference like this than maybe some of you, but I'm just always interested in how the top performers think about things and really look to not only build the words and the approaches to build confidence of our clients or our students for people that are trying to go to the next level. But what really stood out to me were the perspectives around growth and failure and all of those things. And so I wrote down all these one-liners that I thought would be helpful. Obviously, this does not replace going to an event like this, but I'm going to give you the one-liners, and then I'm going to give you my take on each of them. So the first one was by a lady named Jewel Tankard, and she was talking about recruiting, and what she was sharing was how everyone is looking for a shark, looking for a big fish. And what she said is, I'm looking for minnows. On our team, we grow our own sharks. And I loved that. I think that's such an amazing philosophy toward recruiting. So on our team, we grow our own sharks. That was takeaway number one. Takeaway number two was from a leader named Angel Fletcher, and she was talking about customer retention. And she said, if you go and look at your downline report, do you know why they dropped off? That's the reason they dropped off. And I was like, oh. Now, as someone who has a sordid history with follow-up since building Emerge sales training due to my one-on-one coaching and such, that just pierced me right through the heart, because I know that is easily my weakest area right now, is following up with previous clients and relationships and maintaining that. And so she said, do you know why they dropped off? That's why they dropped off. Ooh, yikes. The next one-liner, I don't know if this is one-liner. This is a tip that is one line. Is by Stefania Lo Gato Fayer. Sorry, I can't ask them if I'm saying it right. And I wrote down this one sentence: prepare outreach with 3 qualities that you like about that person and 3 needs that they have, 3 necessities. If you don't know 3 great qualities about them or 3 necessities, you haven't built the relationship up enough to invite them into an appointment or something like that. So I thought that was a really, really great tip. I guess that's not exactly a one-liner, but it's a one-sentence tip. So prepare outreach with 3 qualities and 3 necessities. And if you don't know, rebuild the friendship or the relationship. Number 4 is by Kirsten Kirschbaum. If your dreams are fulfilled, that means other people's dreams can be fulfilled. So a lot of those of you that are in the Emerge community, we really want to help people. One of our core values here at Team Emerge is generosity, being good humans, being good role models, being excellent. And I loved this: if your dreams are fulfilled, that means other people's dreams can be fulfilled. And this might have been a quote. I was writing really, really fast, so I don't mean to misquote it if it is. But our dreams are important, because when we get to work on our dreams, and one of my clients, Robbie, shares this, when we get to work on our dreams and accomplishing those, we get to work. And the only way for us to accomplish our dreams is to help other people accomplish their dreams. So our dreams are really, really important in this story and in this equation, because if you start fulfilling your dreams, even if it's something crazy. So right now, I've allowed myself to re-dream about having a metallic blue BMW after swearing off luxury cars after my last one. And I've allowed myself to do that, and then I think, okay, what decisions are going to help me to accomplish that? And is it the end all be all? Of course not. Do I have other goals inside of that are much more altruistic? Of course they are. But what is that going to do? That's going to force me to do the work, and my work impacts people. So I love that. Now I use that example. I think there are other dreams, right? So if my dream is to help X amount of people get out of debt or whatnot, you know, that is obviously helping other people's dreams be fulfilled. So whatever it is, I thought that was important. Number 5 was by Eric Worre. He rebuilt his team 7 times. We've been talking a lot about rebuilding in my advanced recruiting coaching program. And he said, I need to be so good that teams won't leave me. And the second part of this was, if you want to be great, the only option is immersion. And so I was reflecting on that last comment and thinking about how when people go to learn a foreign language, they typically don't just learn a foreign language in the nooks and crannies of their day. Now we're talking about wanting to be great. We're not talking about trying to earn, you know, just a little bit, right? We're saying, okay, I want to be great. So if you want to be great, you need immersion. So if I want to be a great Spanish speaker, I would study abroad. I would move there for a while, because the only way to be great at something is to be fully immersed in it. And I thought that made a lot of sense, right? My kids, they crush. They're so excited summer's coming, because they are going to advance at least 1 belt, which is impressive because of how high up they are. But by the fall, I think Zoe's going to start her black belt training, and Haley will be pretty close. And it's because over the summer, there's 8 weeks of full immersion. They take 3 classes a day. They're around all the senseis, even when they're playing all day. They start thinking that way, and they start being that way, and they're doing those actions. And so it's no surprise that they are amazing at karate, because they immerse themselves in that lifestyle when they're off. This past year for spring break, I said, what do you guys want to do for spring break? Do you want me to take some time off? They said, well, we're going to karate camp because we want to get more stripes. And so I thought that immersion point was really good. So that's number 5. Number 6 is along the lines of rebuilding. So Stormy Wellington said, if I can build it once, I can rebuild it again. And she told a story about how she left a company due to ethical issues, and she had built it up really, really huge, and she just walked away and resigned. And she told herself, if I've built this once, I want you to imagine for a second walking away from $1 million income, going down to 0, resigning. And she said, if I can build this once, I can build it again. And I thought there was a lot of truth in that. Number 7 was, and I just like this because this was a little snarky, and I totally agree with this. This was by Haley Hobson on social media, and she just said, you know, so many people complain and they say, I suck at social media. And she shared, her one-liner was, you don't suck at social media, you suck at deciding to be authentic on social media. And as I have been coaching, you know, my first full group, we're in week 12 or 13 out of 16 weeks on social media, and I start a new one next week. And I agree with that statement. It's not so much that you all are good communicators. It's not so much that you stink at social media. It's about the authenticity. It's about, am I willing to put my face on, like a picture of myself there, and willing to pour out my heart in a video? It's that, right? So you don't suck at social media. You just suck at deciding to be authentic, not being authentic. That was what I thought was the most interesting point. It was you stink at deciding to be authentic. Okay, so that was number 7. Number 8 one-liner was by Marina Worre, and this I think was a quote, and again, I didn't write it down. I was writing as fast as I could. So it might not be her saying, it might be someone else. 98% of people die without fulfilling their dreams because they are afraid to fail and they don't move into action. I looked at that and I thought, I'm going to say that again. 98% of people die without fulfilling their dreams because they're afraid to fail and don't move into action. And I thought, wait a second. So they're afraid to fail which means they fail. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. And I don't know if there's a difference between being afraid to fail and being terrified of failure. I am terrified of failure. I'm super paranoid that I'm never going to sell anything again. And I'm not supposed to say that, by the way, out loud, but I'm just kind of going to lay it on you. I am terrified of failing, more so, I believe, than all of you. And because I am terrified of failing, I will move into massive action to make sure that never, ever comes true. And so this thought of 98% of people die without fulfilling their dreams because they're afraid to fail, but then they die failing, that doesn't make any sense to me. Number 9, one-liner. And this is a one-line tip, more than just a one-liner. This is by Margie Aliprandi. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And this is at the end when someone says, yes, I want to start earning money with the particular company. And the question that she asked next, I'm a big fan of asking versus telling. Question asked next is, shall we share with you how most people get started? A third party start question. And I thought that is a brilliantly crafted question. I love smart questions. And this one was really, really good. Shall we share with you how most people get started? Because people want direction, but they don't want to be told what to do. So when we ask this question of, shall I tell you what you need to do to get started? You're going to get resistance. Shall we share with you how most people get started is a brilliant question because it operates on social proof. And okay, well, if most people get started this way, then awesome, we're in good shape. So I'm gonna go with what most people do to get started, which is perfect, right? The number 10 one-liner that I loved so much. So I'm not good at saying I love you. That's probably not surprising to you. To me, saying I love you is like this huge commitment, and I'm totally commitment phobic. One of the speakers, Jessie Lee Ward, ended her speech this way. She ended her speech and she said, I love you all. And then she stopped because it's like, how does someone who's never met you love you? And that's what I thought when she said that. She says, I love you all. And she said, you're probably wondering how I can love you when I don't know you at all. And she said, people hate you for no reason at all. So let me love you for no reason at all. And I just thought that was so powerful. You know, could we love people for no reason at all in the same way that others decide to hate people for no reason at all? Those are my top 10 one-liners. Now don't leave because I have a whole other page of notes I'm going to share with you. I wrote down some notes on the $1 million panel, and you know, within our community, we don't really talk about this all that much, and I don't think it's about the $1 million panel, but it's about really what it takes to impact that many people. The feel of the conference was super impact focused. Every single speaker talked about how you cannot earn income unless you're serving people and you have relationships with people, which I really, really loved. But this is the name of the panel. And there were 7 people up there, and I couldn't take notes fast enough, so I didn't get all 7. But out of the 6 people that I did take notes on, here is the profile. Number 1, no college, quit college halfway through. Number 2 was in prison. Number 3 was so sick she lost her home and was suicidal. Number 4, single mom, one with a disability and had previously lost a child. Number 5, miscarriages. Number 6, her and her mom sold drugs. She did not graduate high school, and at some point she worked as a stripper. The 2 highest earners that I am currently coaching right now, both have filed for bankruptcy and came back from it. Now, I was joking at the table. Somebody asked me what was one of my biggest takeaways at lunch or something from that day. And I said, well, I think one thing that I noticed was how much hard stuff that the successful people bounce back from. And I joked a little bit that, I went to college and I got an MBA and my parents love me. And, I do come from a pretty wealthy family. Will I ever be successful? I joked. But in the back of my mind, I thought, and then there was, that time that I was convicted of manslaughter from an accident. And when I was 16, and what I realized is every single person that you see, and you see them successful, and these women up on stage were polished. Like, I mean, makeup done, perfect clothes. I don't understand how they even pick that stuff out. I mean, they just looked so great and so put together and so polished and so passionate. But underneath every single one of them is this like ridiculously hard thing that no one should ever have to experience in life. And one of them said at some point, and I don't remember who, in that same thing, was things that seem like they will break you will become your breakthrough. What a great play on words, right? Things that seem like they will break you will become your breakthrough. And I have seen this, I've experienced this for myself. I've observed the most successful of my clients have some really, really tough stuff. And I'm not saying that we should wish for some really tough stuff. What I'm saying is that every human, what it means to be human is to have really tough stuff happen, right? Is to make bad decisions, is to have sickness and betrayal and mistakes haunt you, or have the capacity to haunt you. Every single one of you that is live or listening to this not live has something that is like really hard, and maybe it's from your past and maybe you're going through it right now. But I assure you that every single person that you see that is successful also has a similar thing like that. Even if they don't talk about it, I don't talk about mine very often. It's there, and it's in the back of their mind, fueling them to say, if I overcame this thing, then I can overcome whatever it is. And I just want to remind you that if you are looking at your life or you're looking at your business and you're saying, I'm going through some hard stuff, that it's okay. It's every single person, right? If you are in a position where you haven't experienced and things like that, then you might have a leg up. And I want to encourage you to just really think about what's the difference, right? And I think that the difference is in our execution. I think it's in the decision that we make to say, is this thing going to be the thing that, takes me out, or is this the thing that I'm going to stand on? And is this, I met this gal at the table, and she had disclosed to us that she had a history in drug abuse. It was so interesting. And we were talking, and we were like, you need to tell people this. And she's like, no way. And I said, I promise you it will inspire people. And then a couple hours later, this gal, Stormy, told her story about that. And I messaged her because we had connected on Facebook, and I said, oh my gosh. And she says, I am in the back crying right now. This is such a confirmation, because our ability to overcome our challenges, every single human has challenges, really helps to inspire others as well. So I just want to leave you with that. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope this was helpful for you. I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. So if you guys want to go back and take notes, go for it. You are welcome to share this video with your teams if you found these one-liners to be helpful. I am not taking away from like the tactical stuff. It's just these were the one-liners that really stood out to me. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys soon.